Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram with you. Yes, albeit a bit late today on this cricket show. Um, well, we have all T20 matches happening. India, in fact, just showing the ascendancy over Afghanistan today when they won their second consecutive T20 match, and this was really a sort of a real baseball cricket, as we call it, as England call it. Yes, it was really that type of stuff that was played, which is an essential, as you know, for T20 cricket, and that's what was exhibited today by this Indian young talent. Then, as far as New Zealand versus Pakistan, New Zealand went on to win their second consecutive match against Pakistan. But this time, Pakistan, I thought, played much better. There's a five-match, two series. So Pakistan still have the third match to really turn it around. Right now, New Zealand lead the T20 series 2-0 in the five-match series. And then, as far as Sri Lanka versus Zimbabwe, it was the first T20. The match went all the way down to the wire in the final delivery. It was the coolness of Angelo Matthews for sure, but definitely the win was clinched only on the last ball of the match. So definitely going. So Zimbabwe definitely stretching Sri Lanka on a pitch which had a bit of uneven bounce to it as well. Right now, I'm going to start with the India versus Afghanistan game. So it's going to be a really brief cricket show. Already late. So talking about this particular match, this was played in Indore. A nice crowd assembled at the Indore Stadium at the Holkar. And Afghanistan were the ones. India won the toss and put Afghanistan in. Some changes happening. Virat Kohli coming back into the side. Shubman Gill was out of the mix, and Afghanistan batting first put up a total of 172. But what an inspirational promotion by Afghanistan. They decided to promote Gulbuddin Naib, who we all know that he can be a dangerous batsman. And he came today. He fired on all cylinders. I mean, he started hitting the Indian bowlers to all parts of the field with a very special knock of 57 of 35, five fours and four sixes, which was the prime feature of Afghanistan's innings. Yes, there were contributions coming in from Najmullah Zadran 23, Kareem Jannat 20, and Mujibur Rahman played a real cameo. And nowadays, Mujibur Rahman is someone like Rashid Khan can be trusted to throw the bat around, and that's what he precisely did. And that took Afghanistan to a score of 172 all out in 20 overs, which was pretty much better than what they performed in the first one. Now, looking at the bowling, I have something to talk about the bowling. Yes, Akshar Patel was the man of the match with his bowling spell, 4 overs, 2 for 17. He really had a lot of variations, but I would like to speak about Ashdeep Singh. Now, Ashdeep Singh, we have been seeing that after his stint in English county cricket, he's a much changed bowler. Initially, we saw that he was getting a real hit in the death overs, and that's the bowling part that I feel Ashdeep Singh has really improved for himself. And today we could see another side of Harshdeep Singh where he decided to sometimes bowl it by at the return crease. So basically, just before the return crease, before he even hits the return crease, he used to bowl it, and there were a lot of concoctions. He decided to bowl the slower bouncer. He decided to slip in the slower one. So there was a lot of surprise element in Ashdeep Singh bowling. 3 for 32, his returns. Mukesh Kumar, 2 overs, a bit costly by standards today, 2 overs, 21. Bisnoy, 2 for 39, much better. Shivam Dubey got taken for runs, 1 for 36. And Washington Sundar, 3 overs for 23. India had a target of 172 to get, and the Indian batting juggernaut, as we call, rolled around in such a manner that they got to the victory in 15.4 overs with lots of fours and sixes galore. Look at it. I mean, definitely the pitch was definitely easy for batting. There's no doubt about it. Probably the Afghanistanis should have got in excess of 200 runs on this particular pitch. In fact, probably 225 to 230, but they could not. But India totally mastered the Afghanistan. They toyed with the Afghanistan bowling. Yes, Rohit Sharma collected a golden ball duck of the very first ball that he faced from Fazali Farooqi, trying to go over the top and lost his stumps. He was gone for naught. Yashasvi Jaiswal, I mean, what a player! I mean, you give him a pitch like this, he will really take you to the cleaners, and that's what he precisely did. 68 of 34 balls, five fours. And first, he joined in a partnership with Virat Kohli, with both, Virat Kohli coming and really taking over, hitting boundaries and sixes. Not sixes, he hit a lot of boundaries. Virat Kohli, five fours in the knock of 29 of 16, and he came with a sort of a real purpose, and that was that today he's not going to take a back seat. And he was not willing to really block any deliveries. It was just about hitting the ball, and he definitely did that and hold out 29 of 16. But Yashasvi Jaiswal got the company of the informed Shivam Dubey, and both of them clobbered the Afghanistan bowling. I mean, they could not have 100-run partnership, but in 7 overs they thrashed 92 runs, and that was serious stuff. And the Afghanistan bowlers had absolutely no clue as to where to bowl to them. Shivam Dubey also showed some classicism in the strokes, and power is something that Shivam Dubey already possesses. And two left-handers at the crease, pinching the boundaries and hitting over it. It was an absolute treat to watch for the spectators, the holiday crowd, the Sunday crowd, enjoying some tremendous entertainment from the Indian young talent of S. Vijay as well. 68 of 34, five fours and six sixes. And Shivam Dubey, 63 of 32, five fours, four sixes. Jitesh Sharma missed out with a duck. Rinku Singh, cool as a cucumber, nine of as many balls. And that was the end of the that was the victory for India by 6 wickets. So India has already won the series because it's a three-match series, and already India are 2-0 in this particular series. Looking at the bowling, Fazali Farooqi 1 for 28. I thought he bowled well. Mujibur Rahman 2 overs none for 32. The spinners were tonked all the way. Even the pace bowlers, Naveen Ulak 1 for 1 for 33. Noor Ahmed 3 overs for 35. Nabi 2 overs for 30. Kareem Janat was the only one who could get a bit of a handle. 2 overs no more than 230. Well, dear fans, so that was the story of the brief story of the India Afghanistan match, where India, as I said, won the match against Afghanistan. The next match I'm talking about is New Zealand versus Pakistan, played at Seddon Park in Hamilton. The second T20 of the five-match series, which New Zealand won by 21 runs. Again, Finn Allen, as he did it in the first match, once again went totally berserk against the Pakistani bowlers, by especially meeting special treatment to Haris Rauf by hitting him, clubbing him for fours and sixes. Shaheen Shah Afridi was not spared. Abbas Afridi went for plenty. And really, Finn Allen was the man who had given the early impetus to the innings. And definitely, it was a wonderful knock from Finn Allen. And Finn Allen now, there was a question mark on his consistency. But with these two matches that he has played, he's really, really answering that question pretty quickly. 74, what a knock from him. 74 of 41. Yes, he was dropped by, I think he was dropped once. 41 of 41. He also, even the spinners were not spared. Usama Mir disappeared into the stands as well. And 74 of 41, seven fours and five sixes. Was the major knock from the New Zealand team in the score of 194 for 8. Devon Conway, 20. Williamson retired with 20, retired 26 with some spasms, I suppose. 26 of 15. Mitchell 17, Phillips 13, and then Mitchell Santner played a quick knock of 25 in the end of 13, three fours and two sixes. and that kept New Zealand, took New Zealand to a total of 194 for 8, which was definitely enough in the end, with the margin of victory for New Zealand being 21 runs. Looking at the bowling, Afridi, none for 30, did well, 3 for 38 for Harris Raw, came back after Finn Allen's onslaught. I thought Harris Raw came back in the next 2 overs. Abbas Afridi picked up those wickets, 2 for 43, his returns. Jamal was a much improved bowler, 142. Osama Mir also did a good job, I thought, 4 overs, 1 for 39. Pakistan in the chase of 194. Saeem Ayub was consumed early. The openers were consumed pretty early by Saudi and Milne, respectively. Rizwan hitting a six of the very first ball and then perished. Babar Azam, again, very refreshing to see Babar Azam. The main scorers for Pakistan was Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman. And Fakhar Zaman, has a habit of really tonking the spinners very hard. And when it comes to the spinners, Fakhar Zaman does not back an inch. He goes full throttle, and that's what he precisely did. And the man in threat here was East Sodi, who was disappearing for runs. And that was the time when I was having a feeling with Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman partnership, blowing along like a wind. 87 runs were added. They were really, really blowing along beautifully. But then it was the wicket of Fakhar Zaman was looking dangerous with 25, 50 of 25 dealt with 3 fours and 5 sixes. Got his stumps rattled by Adam Min for 50. But Babar Azam carried over, but Babar Azam's wicket. So this is refreshing, as I said, after the Australian tour, which was a miserable one. Babar Azam seemed to have come to grips pretty quickly. And as we always say, for a class player like Babar Azam, it's only a matter of time. Here he is showing his wares. 66 of 43, 7 fours and 2 sixes. Other than that, after that, we did not have anybody to really talk about, barring Shine Shah Afridi, throwing his bat a few times, hitting 2 fours and 2 sixes and 1 boundary, the knock of 22 of 13, and they were bowled out for 173. In the end, it became too much for Pakistan to go and get a win. Saudi 2 for 31, but Adam Min was the most successful bowler, 4 for 33, none for 47 for Mitchell Santner. Sears did a good job, 2 for 28 and 2 for 33 for East Sodi, who got a bit of tap from Fakhar Zaman. So as I said, Pakistan are trailing in this 5-match series, with New Zealand taking the lead 2-0. Now, the Sri Lanka versus Zimbabwe, this was a match which went all the way down to the wire. Yes, the pitch was not a pitch where runs were so easy to come by because of a bit of unevenness on the pitch. Zimbabwe made 143 for 5, and the Sri Lankans were forced to go all the way to the wire, as I said, to the final ball to get out a victory. And then finally, Sri Lanka, a bit of fortunateness in the last over, one could call, which happened. And finally, the Sri Lankans were home. And thus, Sri Lanka won the first T20 by 3 wickets. This is a 3-match T20 series. So, Sri Lanka lucky to get the upper hand in the first T20. Zimbabwe batted first, 143 for 5. Tinashe Kamunkambe, the opener, cracked 26 of 18, 1 for 2 sixes, but was Sikandar Raza's bat which was doing the talking, as he made 62 of 42, 5 fours and 2 sixes. Other than that, nothing much to talk about as far as Zimbabwean batting is concerned. But still, I thought Zimbabwe could have done a bit better, but 143 for 5 still looked a challenging total on this particular pitch. Angelo Matthews, none for 13, none for 43. Nuwan Tushara was taken for runs today, none for 43. Tikshana weaved a nice magic spell for us, 216. Chamira, 1 for 38, 2 for 19. Hasranga, after being the hero in the I think it was the ODI, but here he was in the T20, 2 for 19, his returns. And Sri Lanka, batting second, chasing 143, managed to get it thanks to the all the experience coming from Angelo Matthews' bat with a knock of 46 of 38, which included 5 fours and 1 6. But definitely, the Sri Lankans were really put into a sort of a very tough situation at 83 for 6 in the 14th over, and then Angelo Matthews had to really carve out an innings with all his experience, which he did. And finally, it was Dasun Shanaka who was there in the end to nurture them towards the win with 26 of 18 with 4 boundaries. And other than that, nothing to really talk about. 144, and finally Sri Lanka winning the first T20. Nagarava 1 for 34. Blessing Muzravani 2 for 33 was bowling. In fact, in the last over, I think they needed, if I'm not wrong, I just need to go to the match to see, but definitely they needed some, I think, in the last 6 balls, if I'm not wrong, it was Angelo Matthews who was out in the fourth ball of the 19th over, on the 20th over, and then, but finally, the Sri Lankans won the match. Muzramani too was bowling the final over, and he was bowling superbly. He was getting in dodge, but as you say, sometimes luck favors the brave, and I think Sri Lanka seemed to have got it. Wellington Nasagaja 1 for 21. Sikandar Raza once again also doing a good job with the ball, 3 for 13 his returns, and that was it for Sri Lanka winning the first T20 against Zimbabwe. And well, Angelo Matthews definitely for nurturing the team towards it, even though not finally getting it just 2 balls before getting out, but he had done the job of seeing the things through. And that was, it was Angelo Matthews who was steering the troubled ship out of the troubled waters, which he did. And then the final thing was applied by the Dasan Shanaka and Shamira. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that brings an end to this cricket show. As I hastily arranged just because it got a bit late today. Hope you all liked the broadcast, and look forward to more cricket the coming weekend. And some matches coming up, but well, I'm not having any time right now to dwell on that. So I'll be seeing you next Saturday on the cricket show. Till such time that happens, it's goodbye from here. Thank you.